Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Beauty Business Babes podcast. This is your host, Callaghan. Thank you so much for being here and spending this maybe 30 minutes with me because I think it's going to benefit you. I think you're going to have a good time. I think we're going to talk a little bit about something that maybe you haven't done yet, or maybe you're in the beginning stages and possibly a little bit lost and unclear on how to move forward with newsletter marketing. So, I don't talk about this often just because I feel like everyone's doing it, but I just did a poll on the Beauty Business Babes Facebook group and I realized that so many people are not doing this. And I'm not sure why. Maybe it's just a lack of clarity, not knowing what to do next, not understanding how the process works, but I'm here to tell you that it is a lot easier than it probably seems. So my goal here is to give you some clarity so that way you guys can take action on how to start building your list, how to start growing your list, and how to make some more money in your beauty business. So first off, let's go ahead and talk about what newsletter marketing is. It is a way to target and personalize messages to help you build and nurture your audience through campaigns via email. So the way that I look at it is that it is very much like your own real estate. It's your real estate. It's you having the ability to keep these email addresses so that way you can stay in constant contact with your ideal clients, hopefully, who are on that list. So that is what it is in a nutshell. Why you want to market via email. And this is huge. There's a couple of reasons why. Number one reason is because anyone that's going onto your website has some interest in the services that you're offering, right? Or the products that you're offering. And so I think it's important to capitalize on your efforts here and have a way to keep in contact with them. And the way to do this is by having them opt into an email list, because if Joe Schmo goes onto your website and all of a sudden forgets that, I don't know, she left the stove on and she puts her phone down and she just never goes back onto your website for whatever reason, you are going to potentially lose Joe Schmo as a client. So the best way to keep in touch with these people that are finding you and are interested in your services enough to click on your website is to have some sort of opt-in so that way you can keep in touch with them via email. Now, I'm going to go into how to do this in just a moment, but I just wanted to give you the why. So I pulled up some statistics, and $38 for every dollar that you spent is made back. That is your return on your investment, okay? So $38 for every dollar that you spend on newsletter marketing is coming back to you. So that return on the investment is extremely high if it's done properly. So you have to have a strategy behind this. You have to have planning behind this. You can't just be shooting out emails that aren't aligned with what you're doing, aren't specific to your niche, and are just kind of all over the place. Okay, I've done this before. I used to do this. It's been a shit show, and I don't want you guys to have to go through that because you'll lose a lot of email subscribers, and people will just start not to trust you because you're like going all different areas and different ways of marketing. So we want to stay extremely highly focused on what it is that you're offering and how you're offering these services and products via email should feel really good to you and excite your client when they receive an email from you. The next statistic is that 59% of respondents to this survey say that email marketing has influenced their purchase decisions. So when it comes to email marketing, it's extremely beneficial for you to be able to provide value so that way your clients or your audience that are on those email lists that you have or that email list that you have can really start to know who you are, what you provide, and start to trust that you are the expert in whatever it is that you're doing so that way they can go ahead and purchase from you and feel good about it, right? So this is the way that you're able to nurture your audience, and it's not all about sales when it comes to email marketing. So we're going to go over some strategies on how to create better relationships with your clients and get you to really connect with them on a level that's going to allow them to know you and like you, and of course, trust you so that way they can purchase from you. So now we're going to go into the how. This is like behind the scenes, very, very simple way to be able to get into newsletter marketing if you're not already in this space. If you're not already in this space, I would love to know why, like what has held you back. So if you're watching this on my YouTube channel, kellyanntv.com, or if you're listening on the podcast, Beauty Business Babes, I want you guys to let me know in the comments or even in your review, or you can slide into my DMs at IM_Callaghan. Let me know why you aren't doing this or what has been holding you back, because I would love to help you guys overcome those barriers of whatever it is that is holding you back from creating more income in your business. I did survey our beauty business babes on the Facebook group earlier, and some of the things that came up for them was not wanting to feel pushy in sales, not understanding the next step on how to get into newsletter marketing, and just kind of feeling like messy and all over the place, like not understanding exactly what the process was or how beneficial it was. So I want to put this out there for you guys and just let you know that newsletter marketing is something that is incredibly, incredibly impactful if it's done correctly. And it's something that I've done since the very beginning. So I was able to grow my list over time. This is exactly one of the main reasons why I was able to make $5,000 last year on Black Friday. I'm doing a sales training next week on how to produce more sales through email marketing, through text message marketing, and how to utilize social media to be able to funnel those people, the audience that you already have, into your newsletter and text message marketing. So that way you guys can make more sales. And it's really important that we are able to be omnipresent on social media. Of course, if you have been in the industry for a while, you definitely want to be omnipresent. You want to be all over the place so that way when people are on different platforms, they can find you. So what I'm going to be teaching in that sales training is how to be omnipresent, how to utilize different strategies so that way you guys can get into a system and a way of being able to create campaigns and promotions that actually sell instead of just like throwing spaghetti at the wall and just hoping for the best. So if you guys are interested in more of a deeper sales training and interested in learning how to utilize these different aspects of, say, social media and different platforms and things like that, and marketing in general, head on over to slaythespray.com. SLAY, thespray.com, and you'll be able to sign up for the training that we have. Now, if you guys missed the training, if you're listening to this at a later date, don't worry, we do have the replay. So if you still sign up for the training, you will get the automated replay, and that'll give you all the information that I'm sharing with you guys today and going in deeper in those different platforms and marketing strategies such as text message marketing, even deeper on newsletter marketing, and how to use social media to be able to leverage all of that. So let's go into the step-by-step system on how to be able to do this in a way that is pretty dang easy. It just takes a little bit of time and effort. Step number 1, I need you to sign up for an email marketing service. So this is going to be something like Mailchimp, ActiveCampaign, Sendinblue. You can use Constant Contact. So I'll leave it at those 4 for you. You can sign up for any of these. And my recommendation is if you're just starting off and you are new to the game, you might want to check out Mailchimp. I believe it is one of the cheaper options. If not, I think it's free. I actually think it's free. I haven't used that in a while, but when I did use it, it was very user-friendly and it was extremely affordable when I first started. Now that we've grown our email list, I have decided to use Sendinblue is the one that I use now because it is more on the affordable side and it still allows me to customize the things that I need to customize. So if you're a little bit more advanced, you might want to check that out. By the way, I used to use ActiveCampaign. I switched over to Sendinblue, and while it doesn't have all the bells and whistles, it definitely saved me a lot of money. So if you are a veteran and you guys want to check out Sendinblue, that's a great platform to possibly transfer to and save some money. All right, so step number 2. You need to start building your email list. So a couple of ways that you can do this is through, of course, the obvious, which is social media, on Instagram, on Facebook. You can even use Facebook groups by doing some sort of opt-in promo. And so what that means is basically if you go onto Facebook groups that are either local to you or have your ideal client in there, you guys can say, hey, my name is Kelly. I own Slay Beauty Bar. I would love for you guys to opt in to enter to win a free spray tan. And you can link your website on there. Now, you want to check the rules in each of these Facebook groups, and you want to make sure that your ideal client is in there, because if you're just posting to random Facebook groups, this isn't going to work to benefit you. You need to also make sure that you're adhering to the rules of the group. So the Facebook groups typically allow you to promo, like say once or twice a week or something like that. So if you stay consistent with this, I'm sure that you'll be able to grow your email list by being able to introduce yourself and offer some sort of value to your audience in those groups. The next way you can build your email list is through one-on-one clients. So obviously, if you're working one-on-one, whether you're a mobile artist or a salon, You have clients that are constantly coming in to see you and to get your services. So they already know you, they like you, but you can use this to help them purchase more, right? You can get them into packages, you can get them into memberships, you can get them to realize that you possibly offer other services or retail products, things like that. So the way that I was able to do this was by creating an opt-in when they sign in to their release form. So we had like a spray tanning release form or an eyelash release form, and at the very end, it says, please check this to opt out of our newsletter list. So that is one way. You always, by the way, have to get permission before you add these people onto your list. You don't want to just add random people that you have their email addresses. So anyone that's been a previous client of yours, if you have their email address, that's great, but you can't just opt them in. You have to make sure that they give you permission to do that. The next way you can start building your email list is through events and booths. So one way that we were able to do this was by creating a list for people to sign up and put their first name, their last name, their email in order to get a raffle ticket for a free spray tan. So whenever you're doing a booth or any type of networking event, the whole goal is to build that list, and you can come up with really creative ways to do this. And then the last way I want to mention, and by the way, there are a ton more ways, but these are the ways that I'm just going to mention now since we are limited on time, are collabs. So if you want to collaborate with somebody who is a professional that works with your ideal client, that is going to be extremely beneficial for you. And you can, reach out to lash artists, estheticians, cosmetologists, or somebody just who works with your ideal clients. So that way you guys can help each other by either interviewing each other on each other's Instagram, or even doing an event together, anything like that, to work together to gain exposure of their audience and them getting exposure with your audience as well. So it's mutually beneficial. And this has been such a game changer for me. And I didn't realize how beneficial it was going to be to actually reach out to people and say, hey, my name is Kelly. This is what I offer. I would love to collab with you and see how we can make some magic happen. Number 3, what I want you guys to do is to plan and execute. So that way you're consistently driving traffic to your opt-in. And when I say opt-in, what this is, again, is just like that little form that pops up when somebody goes onto your website. So you can have an opt-in where somebody goes on your website, the little form pops up within just a couple of seconds, and it says something like, in order to get 10% off your next service, go ahead and put your email address in here. And so when clients do that, they're able to get something in return for putting their email address into that opt-in form. A couple of tips when it comes to creating the opt-in is, one, have a pop up in the middle of the page when, like, a couple seconds after they access your website. Then the second thing is to have the form in different locations around your website. So for example, I had a form that popped up at the very top as a banner. That worked really well because people would either, maybe they forgot, they just exit out, because human nature, right? You just exit out of that form that pops up sometimes. At the very top, they're able to opt in there. And we also had an opt-in form all the way at the very, very bottom of the page too, just in case they missed the top one, they missed the one that popped up. This gives them the third chance to be able to opt in. So you need to be able to plan and actually take action on this in order for it to work. Surprise, surprise. So if you plan and execute this in a way that keeps you consistently reminding people on your Instagram platform, Facebook platforms, Facebook groups, whatever it is that you want to use in order to drive the traffic to your website for them to opt in, that is the way that this is going to work. You cannot expect this to work if you just do this one time. So I'm going to repeat that again. You have to be able to plan and execute this to consistently drive traffic to your opt-in, which is essentially just your website, right? Where you have the forms for them to fill out. The reason why you have to do this is because it's not going to work just one time. After 6 years of having my business, I'm still consistently pushing people to opt into my mailing list. So you guys have to remember that anything that you do is only going to work if you're consistent with it. And this has been, again, one of the biggest game changers in my business is growing that mailing list. And while yes, it can be annoying, it can be tedious, it can, be something that you have to be consistent with. And sometimes you don't want to be. It's one of those things that you have to do if you want to grow your email list and if you want to create more income for yourself, really. And so please do yourself a favor and don't give up on this. If you decide to go into this direction, or if you're already there and you've just given up already, keep going. because I promise you that there is so much benefit. There's so much benefit to doing this on a consistent basis. And if you don't love to do this, then you can always, get somebody else to help you, whether it's somebody that you're hiring that knows how to do this, like in person, if they want to work with you side by side, or you can even hire somebody remotely to be able to do this, which is what I have done in the past. So know that there are ways to do this. And trust me when I say this is so impactful if you do it right. The last thing that I want to mention is to automate as much as possible so that way you're not sitting there having to manually put in the email list into, say, Sendinblue or Mailchimp or whatever service you decide to use. So the way that I've been able to automate this is basically by allowing, I didn't do all the back end stuff because I was like, you know what, somebody else needs to do this. I hired somebody on Upwork to be able to help me get this done. So what they have done is basically allowed the pop-ups to pop up at certain times. The banner, when I had the banner at the very top of the page, the banner at the very bottom of the page, so that way when people opt in their email, they put their email in, it automatically goes into Sendinblue. So I am no longer, this is what I did in the beginning, I would manually have to put all of those emails into Sendinblue or the platform. You don't want to do that because you won't do it and you'll hate it. So just automate this. It's so incredibly easy for them to do it, and it's so incredibly cheap to hire someone to help you do this. So that way you can, again, consistently grow that list while you're sleeping. Now, what we also done is we've taken it a step further, and we were able to create a welcome sequence. So when somebody opts in, and you guys can go to spraytanclass.com to see how this works. When somebody opts in to get the free training that we're offering on the newsletter on the website, spraytanclass.com, basically they put their email in, and within that day, they're going to get their first email, and it's going to say, welcome. Hey guys, thank you so much. My name is Kelly. This is who I am. This is what I do. It's just more of like an introduction. I'm not selling anything. I'm just giving them the free training that I promised to give them. Okay. Then it's the next day or the day after. I don't remember. I'd have to look at it. But a couple of days later, you can send another automated email that allows you to give a little bit more information about who you are and what services you provide. So in this email, I educate them on the services that we offer, what we provide as a company, and really what our mission is. So that way they get an understanding of who we are and start to really understand our company culture, what we offer, things like that. And then a couple of days later, they're going to get another email. And this automated email is going to invite them to engage with us. So this email will say something along the lines of like, hey, now that you know us, if you do have a couple of questions, please go ahead and just reply to this email. Let me know what questions you have. I'm happy to help answer them. If not, please connect with us further on our Facebook group, on our YouTube channel, Instagram, whatever platform that you're trying to get them to go on. So you can have this automated so that way you, again, aren't having to do this every single time, right? The goal here is to really create a relationship with the audience that you have on your mailing list, to let them know that you are there for them, to let them know who you are, what you do, to let them know that you are fulfilling whatever promise that you have for them to opt in. So for example, our promise was to give them a free training. So we were able to do that. We were able to nurture our audience in a way to kind of just like let them know who we are and what we do and what we want to do and how we can serve them and how we can help them, how we can benefit from working with each other, right? So that is a step-by-step. If you are a beginner, if you have given up, if you are just like lost when it comes to newsletter marketing, please understand that it is easy. It's easy to do. It's very simple. I should put it that way. It is very simple to do this, and it can be easy if you're tech savvy. But if you're not, and if you have a lot of things on your plate and you're neglecting this, please, please, please hire somebody to help you, because again, once you get this automated, it's like you are just growing your email list while you sleep. And all your job is to make sure that people know about this email list, that it actually exists. So I have been able to make so much money as a beauty business professional through the mailing list. And a lot of it is because I've been consistent with it. I have strategy behind it. We are constantly coming up with ways to add value to our email list instead of just promoting things like 50% off or just selling things. We've learned how to really nurture the audience so that way they can know us and like us and trust us enough to be able to say, hey, I want to work with this company. It looks like they know what they're doing. And we're able to provide the value for them so that way they can, feel secure in their purchase. So I really hope that this has helped you guys. If you have any questions, please let me know. You guys can always drop into my DMs at IAM_Kellyann. And lastly, I do want to re-invite you. Is that even a word? I want to re-invite you to our sales training that is happening next week. If you guys want to head on over there and really dive in deep to text message marketing, more of email marketing, and really how to utilize your social media channels to level up in this way, head on over to slaythespray.com. And it is going to be the best $44 that you will spend, because what you can do is learn how to do this in a way that is automated so you can make money while you sleep, and also utilize this for the different services, for the different products that you have. And you can use this year round. It's not just for the holiday season. So I hope this helps. I love you guys long time, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Beauty Business Babes.